recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man to go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
I'm
Queen.
getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights but even human rights. So
Ahmadiyyah.
the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
In my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on their necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of misconceptions.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on their necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X to my jeans and I got...
This is the sound of Image Fun.
All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your second morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, let's get those likes up. You all know how they do the Queen. Let's get the likes up. All right, so let's get into it. And also, please double check to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel, especially if you haven't been receiving your notifications. All right, hey, one who cares. Pearlie's in the house. Juju is here. Aboriginal Woman, that Crazy Beach Aries, Pennywise. Naja is here. Silent D, Nessie X, Dragon Lily, 504 Nola, All Hell Nah. All right, Pearlie, I see you. Nessa G. All right. Queens, hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to read these comments. We're black with the Queen, aka Nancy Drew says Queen Sam. Thank you, beloved. Juju said low down dirty scoundrels. Well, you know what to do. All right, Miss Peaches is in here. Lulu, Priscilla, Courtney J, Pearlie. Okay, the Prince of Paraphernalia, Warrior Status, Miss Evie. Anita Harrell is here. Okay, so let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please get those likes up. Please get those likes up. Now, I want you all to pay attention. There has been some problems going on over in the Bahamas with these cruises. Okay, so these two women, they went on a cruise over there, and they say that they were assaulted and someone put something in their drink. Okay, now the Carnival Cruise did not warn them. And they should have known about these things because, they always let you know when there's high alerts when you're traveling to different places. And they say they should have known about this. And I just wonder if they did know. And if maybe they just didn't say anything because they don't want to lose money. I have questions, but so let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
So make sure I'm not saying anything wrong. All right. A lot of people didn't take them seriously, like me. Why? Because it didn't appear that any American tourists had been harmed. It looked like gang-on-gang violence, okay? But now that's changed. Two moms from Kentucky went on a cruise together to the Bahamas. They dock at a local beach. They go out there to spend the day. The women say they were drugged, they were raped, and the Bahamian authorities treated them like criminals. Joining us now is Amber Shearer and Dongela Dobson, and their attorney, Nicholas Gerson. Counsel, thanks for being with us. Jump in as needed. First of all, ladies, I am very sorry to meet you under these circumstances, and I know that this is the last thing that you want front of mind, but I truly appreciate you wanting other people to understand the story so it doesn't happen again. Amber, I'll start with you. What do you want people to know?
I want people to be safe. And two's not enough. Dongela and I thought as best friends, the two of us, we've been together for 2 decades. We thought that we could protect each other and to be safe, and it's not enough. You shouldn't take any excursions that aren't directly with the resort you're booking, aren't directly with the cruise line that you're booking. You need to stay within those bounds. And you need to be aware because our cruise line did not make us aware of a travel advisory. We had no idea what was going on in the Bahamas.
And
None
just to
whatsoever.
be clear, so people understand, and Dongela, you can pick up the story here. This is not about you guys going out and at 4 o'clock in the morning, things go sideways. You've given us a picture. You say you guys were offered a drink, buy one, get one free. It was the only drink that you had. And there's a picture of you guys on the beach enjoying yourselves. You're saying that this cutout pineapple thing, this was the drink. You had one drink, it was this drink, and what happened after you had it?
I had the coconut and Dongela had the pineapple, and we were offered a 2-for-1 deal. And with as expensive as everything else was, we were like, okay, we're catching a break. We'll do the 2-for-1 deal. We felt the drinks were really strong, but Dongela and I are both gastric sleeve patients, so our stomachs can't tolerate much, so we don't drink often anyways. But Less than a few drinks into the second drink, we knew something was wrong. Something was terribly wrong.
We have videos that we have taken on our phones 15 minutes between when we first got the drink and 15 minutes later. And our family and our friends are messaging us, concerned about us. Like, are you sure that you only had one drink? Is that all? Like, are you guys okay? Like, they thought maybe we were fibbing a little bit to our friends about how much we'd actually had to drink. And it even had me questioning myself, well, Lord, how much did I drink? When we got back to Carnival Cruise Line and we were finally given our rape kits, we were given toxicology tests and a breathalyzer, I blew 0.0000.
I blew 0.006.
We were not drunk.
So
we were not drunk at all.
Understood. Amber, let's talk about what did happen here. So you have the drink. You don't really know what's going on, but as Dongela just said, that your friends and family were like, whoa, something's off. What happened next? What was done to you?
We were taking photos in the ocean, and
we kind of decided at this point we want to get out of the ocean. We're feeling it a little bit. We're going to look for seashells for our kids. I found a little piece of like a conch shell, which I could send one of them to go get it, but it's a little piece of a conch shell. Okay. And this guy staff worker that had been there, he's like, oh, I know where tons of these are. We'll take you over there.
The man in the photo, there was a man posted in one of my photos. The man who raped me, he was the one that directed us as to where to go
to find the shells.
To find the shells.
Chris, if I may,
counsel.
Yeah, I wanted to, point out one of the issues with Carnival specifically in this case is they have a legal duty to warn about dangerous conditions that they should have known about. And what's also remarkable in this case is there's a federal statute that's called the Cruise Ship Vessel Safety and Security Act of 2010 that requires victims of crime at high sea, and being in the Bahamas would constitute being on the high seas. They're supposed to offer them contact with the FBI.
Right.
None of that was offered.
Hey, thank you for watching.
So that's extremely upsetting. Okay, I feel bad for them, honey. Imagine you paying all that money for a cruise and then this happens. And here's the thing: there was a travel advisory. Some of you in the chat said there's been one for years. Well, I don't know how Carnival Cruise didn't know about it. I'll be suing them. I'd be suing them because they should have warned people. They had to have known. How could they not? It's their job to know these things. Okay, it's their jobs to know if there's a travel advisory. And so with that all been said, I feel bad for them, honey. Luckily, they made it out of there alive. Somebody said drunk and looking for seashells, honey. They weren't drunk. They blew a 0.0. Okay, they had been drugged is what it was. Now, Jason said that Chris Cuomo is the wrong person to be talking about it. I absolutely agree. Please pay attention to how in the beginning he said people didn't believe the women at first, including him. Well, Chris, I'm sure you didn't believe it, beloved Ad, after all of the allegations you had levied against you. Okay. His nefarious brother, Andrew, didn't he have charges too? Or was it just his nefarious brother? At the end of the day, I'm not surprised he didn't believe it, okay? Please sit down somewhere, Chris Cuomo. Hold on. Like stuff, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. In September, Chris Cuomo's former executive producer at ABC News wrote that Cuomo sexually assaulted her by grabbing her buttocks at a going-away party in 2005, saying, I can do this now, now that you're no longer my boss. Okay. She quoted this from a subsequent email noting that he apologized to her husband. So you did that to a married woman? Like, sit down somewhere. Who does he think he is? And we already know what they said about his brother, the former governor, Andrew Cuomo. So at the end of the day, yeah, I'm sure he didn't believe it. Okay. All nefarious. All right. Reggie said both of those Cuomo brothers are perverts. Okay. Who'd figure? I mean, it's bad enough you have one that's a pervert, but two? Make it all make sense. Okay, 169 said he looks like he would do that. Well, he surely did. Okay, Principal Paraphernalia said both of them are foul as F. Yes, I agree. Okay, please. So anyway, now let's talk about Monique again. Because here's the thing. Monique also didn't like the fact that Taraji walked back her comments about not being treated fairly, you know, as it pertained to the color purple. And we all know she was talking about Oprah. But then after we all came to her defense, well, then what did she do? Backslide, like I told you all. So Monique said something about that. So I'm going to show that clip. But I also want you all to see the clip where Monique said the trailers blew up when they were filming that movie, Almost Christmas. I forget the name of it, but said the trailers blew up. This is all crazy. And the only thing they were worried about were the wigs. Okay, that's all they were worried about. Where's those wigs at after somebody almost got blown up to smithereens? Please make it all make sense. Please make it all make sense. Okay, everyone, please get the likes up. Thank you in advance. Let me make sure I'm pulling up the right footage. I think this is it right here. Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. Okay, here.
I saw Taraji broken on those platforms. It was painful to watch. However, Taraji and I had a conversation over a decade ago.
Yes.
In my trailer when I was doing the Monique show. And she said, you know, you got to keep on getting it until your turn comes. And I said, Taraji, most of us die before our turn comes. We got to ask for it right now. Now, I understand that because there was a time I felt the same way.
Exactly.
Because that's what I was told.
Right.
You just keep going and we'll get them the next time. We'll get them the next time. We'll get them the next time. And the next time never comes. And then you see our sister broken, sitting on those platforms. Now, when I said it,
why didn't it get the traction when you said it that when she said it? Now all of a sudden everybody is coming, and I don't have a problem. I'm glad.
Yes.
But if you said this a decade ago, and I remember you saying it over a decade ago, why didn't it get the traction? Why didn't it get the support? Why wasn't it propped up when Monique said it?
I think there's a few reasons why. Number one, it was the messenger. I should just be grateful I got invited to the party. You a big, fat, black woman. How dare you be the one? And then on top of that, you're saying names. You're saying Oprah's name out loud. You're saying Tyler's name out loud. You're saying Lee's name out loud. You're saying Lionsgate out loud. That's not what we do. We say they. We say the people. We say the studio. We say the producers. How dare you actually say our heroes' names?
You're very specific.
Act like our eyes didn't see what it saw when we watched that promotion happen with the color purple.
Right.
We wanted to act like we didn't see how Oprah Winfrey treated Taraji. In my humble opinion, when you saw her walk up, you saw that there was tension. You saw that there was something happening.
Right.
And then when you see Taraji write her a love letter, it's like, listen, we got to stand tall and stand strong on what we know. We know you were mistreated. We know it wasn't right. We know it was unfair. And then you turn around and say, oh, but Lady O handled it. I have a problem with that. Because that allows Lady O to keep on doing what she's doing. And we're in a position of, I don't want to say nothing because we saw how Monique got whooped. Now, again, that's just my humble opinion. But I don't know I don't know how else to frame that. It's like, listen, you better fix that because you saw what they did to her. You saw how they treated her.
Is it a situation, do you believe it's a situation that Oprah might have faced something similar that maybe wasn't as public as you? And she's looking at it, well, if I faced that, went through it and came out on the other side and look at me, it should be okay. Because sometimes we get that with parents. You know, I struggle. You say my kids should have to struggle sometimes also. Do you think that might be something going on with her? Or you just like, there's a disconnect?
There's a disconnect.
Okay.
There's a disconnect, and there's been a disconnect for years. There's a disconnect. And I think what happens is we place people on these pedestals and we say, oh no, you can't do no wrong. We don't even want to hear it.
Right.
And when you hear cats say, you know what they do? They don't say anything and they act like it didn't happen. I'm going to keep talking until you take accountability.
Right.
Until you say, Uncle, I've done this. That's why it was so important. From Oprah Winfrey to Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels. Now, Lee Daniels was the only one I had to deal with. Did you see Lee Daniels apologize?
Mm-hmm.
He walked out on
He
that
went on
stage.
stage.
Not only did he apologize on stage, that man apologized to our children. That man apologized to our children and said, I need to.
You know, at the end of the day, she's absolutely right, okay? Taraji didn't stand on her square, and she had all these people behind her. Now, here's what I want you all to pay attention to. Taraji had all of these people standing behind her, right? Consoling her, agreeing with her, showing their support for her. Monique stood alone. Monique stood alone, and she still stood on her square. That's a strong Black woman. You see, Taraji is not. Taraji is weak. She caved under the pressure because just like Monique said, Taraji probably looked at her, maybe her publicist or someone was in her ear telling her, girl, you don't want to get blackballed. You don't want the same thing to happen to you that happened to Monique. So then she tried to act like, oh, Miss Lady A or Lady O, she made it all better. Girl, she's the one that made it bad in the first place. She's the one that made it bad in the first place. And yes, we did all see how she was treating Taraji. She sent Fantasia a nice bag or something, like a nice purse or whatever. And then we saw her acting like she didn't even want to stand next to Taraji. We already know what time it is. And here's the thing. Now there's all these other people coming out complaining about the pay. Gabrielle Union, Tiffany Haddish, Funky Dineva. Okay? All of Diddy's people been complaining about how he doesn't pay them. But at the end of the day, there's all these other people coming out now. And now Taraji wants to walk it back and act like Oprah, wasn't the problem. Yeah, she's the problem. She tried to blame it on Steven Spielberg. Oprah, sit down somewhere. She wanted to blame it all on Steven Spielberg. Like, y'all can't be mad at me. It was the white man. No, Oprah, it was you. Because Oprah is a gatekeeper. She's a whole billionaire. She has power and control too. Okay, so just like she didn't help Monique, she did the same thing with Taraji and them. And so at the end of the day, she needs to be called out. Here's the thing. Let me say this. Like I told you all on the last live, some of these Black men vloggers are going in on Monique and trying to defend DL. Well, they sound foolish. Okay, at the end of the day, because like I said, DL didn't believe his own daughter when she told him that his friend had done things to her. At the end of the day, the bottom line is this. A lot of men specifically don't like when Black women stand up and speak out. They don't like it. Then you have to be the angry Black woman. You have to be a bitch. You can't stand up for yourself. But it's okay when Karen does it. Why does the world get so bothered and butthurt and bent out of shape when a Black woman is strong and speaks up for herself and calls it like she sees it with the truth? Monique only has all these problems with people because she's called them out. DL wants to paint the narrative that wherever Monique goes, drama comes and follows. Monique doesn't start anything with anybody who doesn't start with her first. I've never heard her start something that the person didn't do or say something to or about her first. She has a right to defend herself. DL wants us to think that Mo is the problem. She isn't. Because he says, oh, she says all this stuff about people and she gets so offended when someone says something about her. Well, sir, one could say the same of you. DL says all these things about people. Remember when he was talking slick about Terry Crews? I want you to pay attention. When Terry Crews said that man assaulted him, grabbed him in the biscuits when he was at that party. And DL said, well, you got muscles, got all those muscles for nothing. And he tried to clown Terry Crews. But remember, when Terry Crews came out and said, do you want me to slap you? He didn't give Terry Crews all the smoke that he's giving Monique. Terry Crews literally threatened him, but didn't threaten that man that grabbed him in the biscuits, however. But DL did not have all that smoke and angst and disdain and slick talk for Terry Crews. That's because he's a coward. That's because he's a coward. And to be honest with you, the reason I think that he didn't want to believe that his friend did something to his daughter is because he's a coward. He probably didn't want to get into a confrontation with that man, didn't want that man to go upside his head. Why would you sit there and be foolish enough to say that, oh, because I liked him, I didn't believe her? Who does that? Who does that? Okay? But he wants to sit there and have all this smoke, wants to say all this stuff about Monique, and then trying to imply that she has to pay her husband to be with her. Well, first of all, her husband and her were friends for years. Why would she have to pay him? He's her manager. I'm sure he gets paid for that. But let's not paint narratives, DL, because what you had to do is you had to pay that woman, your side chick, that you impregnated, and then the baby died. I have questions as to how that baby actually died. I have questions. Okay, I have questions at the end of the day. Since we want to paint narratives, he needs to sit down somewhere. Like I said, you know, some people don't like it when a black woman speaks up and stands up for herself and calls out the bullshites. You're supposed to call things out. I don't care if the person is black. If you can call out, if somebody's doing something low down or whatever, or they're doing something to you and you feel you need to speak on it, you have every right to call them out. I don't care what they look like or what race they belong to. At the end of the day, some of our own people are the most low down to us than others. So Monique's a problem because she's calling it out? No, absolutely not. And here's the thing. Here's how you know DL is lying. I want you all to pay attention. You know how DL is saying that with that contractual disagreement, when he and Monique were performing in Detroit, he said that he was the headliner and that Monique purposely tried to come late. Monique said the same thing about him. Who do y'all think is lying? I'm going to tell you who I think is lying, DL. And you know why I think he's lying? I'm so glad you asked. Because do you not remember that on the first thing he said, or the first thing that Monique said was they had another show somewhere else, I forget where, and her and DL were on the headlines, or they were on the flyer or whatever, but she was the headliner. And then guess what? All of a sudden, DL's name was no longer there. Why was his name no longer there? Well, that's because Monique was clearly the headliner and he didn't like it. He didn't like it. So that's exactly why I believe that it was the same situation in Detroit. And if Monique is lying on him, Tyler, Oprah, or anybody, where's the lawsuits for defamation, libel, and slander? See, that's how you shut shit down. Let me not curse, but that's how you shut it down when people are trying to act like you're lying on them. Well, if I'm lying, where's the lawsuit? You just gonna let me sit up here and lie on you and say things that are not true? That's what you're gonna let me do? If you're complaining about it and you're so mad, butthurt, bit out of shape, where's the lawsuit? Where's the lawsuit? There isn't any lawsuits because she's telling the truth and they know it. Just like there's no lawsuits against Cat Williams because he told the truth and they know it. If people out here saying things about you that are absolutely not true, that could be a detriment to your career, your fan base, or whatever, you should be filing lawsuits. That's what you should be doing. It's just like when I was going in on Vicky Dillard and she was talking about, oh, I'm sending a cease and desist and all that stuff. I'm going to get my legal team. Remember, she was saying all that on her lives. And where's the legal team? Where's the lawsuit? Never filed. I don't know why liars lie. Because they like lying, I guess. My grandmother always used to tell us a lie, don't care who tell it. D.L. Hughley. But anyway. Honey, Sister Nine said, buy a wig. Okay. Race Green said, God today. Y'all are something else. Y'all are something else. Queen of Receipts reigns supreme, says Dan. Thank you, beloved. Thank you for your kind words and your contribution. Peace, love, and blessings. Now let's talk about these wigs. So I'm not talking about wig 1 or wig 2. I'm talking about the fact that they got upset when Monique didn't have the wigs after her trailer blew up. Please pay attention. King Avery Black Power said, Black people really speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the big black truth is what's up. Exactly. Then people want to get mad when you're telling the truth. Shite Queen, shite. Use your words, okay? 169 said, you know we get triggered when you mention wig. Laughing my A off. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the clip where Monique is talking about how that guy was, first of all, disrespecting the other black man who's the director, and then got mad and tried to check Monique, talking about he's the HNIC up in here.
His eyes filled up with water, and he said, I appreciate you for having this conversation with me. Okay? So, Will Packer and I are now at odds because I'm seeing how this brother's acting. I'm in my trailer. My assistant at the time, her name was Robin, right? Robin is in her 50s. She's in my trailer with her shoes off. She's on the computer. Will Packer's friend, or I'm not sure what title to give her, okay? She comes into the trailer. Now, in this trailer, it is me, my hairstylist, makeup artist, and my assistant. This young lady, who we're all old enough to be her mother, she comes and looks at my assistant and said, what's your shoes doing off?
You in your trailer, why do you care?
I said, excuse me, you're out of order. You don't come in here questioning nobody in my trailer. As a matter of fact, and her energy was not that of, I'm playing. It was, I said, as a matter of fact, I need you to go get Will. Because I'm not even going to have this conversation with you. I'm going to talk to your boss. When Will Packer comes into that trailer for us to talk, do you know what that man says to me and my hairstylist and my makeup artist and my assistant? I am the head nigga in charge. Everything stops with me. I said, well, I want to let you know this, Will. You're going to hear that you're the head nigga in charge from me as many times as I can tell people that's what you said. I said, and furthermore, you need to check your assistant. Because this is my space. We weren't in your trailer with our shoes off. We're in my space with our shoes off.
But why would he come? Why would he come to you with that type of energy? What led him to say that when all you asked his assistant to do was to go get him because she's questioning why people in your trailer have the shoes?
That's a good one, because what I said to him was, who do we need to talk to? This young lady can't be up in here like that. And that's when he became the head nigga in charge. And then I said, who are you the head nigga in charge of? We have Danny Glover on this set. We have a legend and an icon. Are you the head nigga in charge of him? Are you the head nigga in charge of Kimberly Elise? Are you the head nigga in charge of Gabrielle Union? Are you the head nigga in charge of JB Smooth? Who are you the head nigga in charge of? So he tried to laugh it and joke it. I said, I don't play that way, brother. I said, the food is bad. Like, what we doing here? The food was slop. So when they say they didn't have any food, the food we had, nobody ever ate that food because it was just like you can feed them anything. Now, here's where it gets even better. Remember how Taraji said the trailers were infested?
Yes.
Our trailers blew up. They blew up. Now, whenever this airs, I'm going to post the trailers blowing up so that people can see.
Right.
But they blew up. And if any of us were in those trailers, we would have been gone.
Right.
The trailers blew up. Now, when I was smelling the gas, we went to the brothers that was hooking up the trailers and we said, hey, we smell gas. They said, Mo, we let him know, talking about the head nigga in charge. We let him know. He just said, okay, and walked away. I said, he what? He just said, okay, and walked away. The trailers blew up. Did Will Packer reach out to anybody? I can't say he didn't reach out to me and say, hey, is everything okay? Did you lose anything is everything good? The only thing they wanted to know from me was, where was Aunt May's wigs?
Huh?
Where are those wigs? Nobody asked, not the studio, not Will Packer, not nobody.
Wow.
Said, are you good? Did you lose anything?
Right.
I said, the wigs blew up in the explosion.
Right.
So to understand what we have to deal with, and to understand most people are too afraid to say it out loud, that we are being mistreated. This is not right.
Right.
So if that means y'all won't want to play with me, I don't want to play with you either. Let's be clear. I don't want to play with somebody that don't care if I've blown up.
Oh, so nefarious. Monique said she don't want to play either with somebody who don't care if she blew up. This is all crazy. But so listen, did you all know that Tommy said, where them wigs? That crazy Sherry said, that's so trifling, okay? Reggie said, my daddy was the HNIC for real. Okay. I thought I was, but clearly. Okay, Audrey Patrice said, Queen, I personally worked with Monique in Vegas and she was a pleasure to work with. I believe it, beloved. But you all know what? Y'all thought that was something. After the whole thing went down, they said DL and some of these other folks, honey, they have the FBI involved. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention. They have the FBI involved. Let me just show you all the paperwork, because I got the court documents. It's not even funny. They went and got the FBI involved in this whole thing, honey. And I just found this out. Timber Dad said fraud today. You can tell Monique has a good spirit, says 169. Yes. Lillian said, whoever heard of trailers being blown up on a movie set? What caused that to happen? Let me tell you something. I think Darius said Vicky has those wigs. Darius, you are wrong for that. Miss Eva said, they said, pick your wigs up and get gone. Hold on, y'all. This is not even funny, but for real. They got the FBI involved in all of this. Okay, so now there's supposed to be a manhunt with the FBI out here looking for Monique, 50 Cent, and Cat Williams. I'm not even joking. Please pay attention. Y'all see that? Wanted by the FBI and rich nuggers for telling the goddamn truth. They're wanted by the law, people. It's all nefarious. Please pay attention. If you see them, do not approach. Close your ears and ignore anything they say. Well, alaikum salam to you, Danielle, beloved. This is all nefarious. Please pay attention. Warren said, say what now? OG Patrice said, I was just an assistant backstage. Monique treated us all first class. That's nice to hear, beloved. Didi and Dallas said, Queen, you are nefarious for that. Saturday said, wanted by the law, child. Best Life said, I'm hollering. Y'all are something else. Okay, but they need to sit down somewhere, okay? They really do. Up here mad at Monique for telling the truth, honey, please. It is also nefarious. But anyway, let me continue. Okay, so now y'all are not going to believe this story. So I want you all to pay attention. Now, this happened right here in Atlanta. See, this is why I need to move. Okay, I need to leave Atlanta, honey. It is getting too out of pocket, like a pistol at a robbery. Let me tell you all what they're up here doing. Let me tell you guys what they're up here doing. So they had these squatters in Atlanta that took over 1,200 homes and then had the nerve to open up an illegal strip club and then terrorize neighbors. You can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. First, they're squatting in houses that don't even belong to them. Then they open up illegal strip clubs. Squatters are ruining entire neighborhoods in Atlanta, and police response to evicts is so slow. Okay, some homeowners have resorted to paying nuances to leave. Brazen squatters even opened an illegal strip club on a property that they had taken over. One of the 1,200 homes which has been squatted in the city is where they opened up this strip club. I wonder who was working there. It's all crazy. One person says, I'd be terrified in Atlanta to lease out one of my properties. Now, this is what someone named Matt Urbanski said, who manages a local home cleaning company. Urbanski's company cleans out homes for corporate landlords, and in some cases has to remove squatters' possessions. Now, recently, one of the employees was shot after attempting to remove intruders from a property. This is all crazy. And you know why the police are slow to move them out? Because here's the thing, to evict them, a lot of these squatters know the laws. They know the laws, and they can literally stay in those homes for months, okay, a year even. And so anyway, goes on to say Simon Frost, CEO of large-scale landlord Tiber Tyler Capital Group, said that there has been incidents of unlawful occupants brandishing weapons and threatening neighbors, which affects the safety of neighborhoods and other residents, according to Bloomberg. Now, they say evicting squatters in Atlanta is tough, involving negotiating court backlogs and strained police resources. Meanwhile, online listings and virtual real estate agents make it easy for squatters to identify vacant properties to break into. And once they get their honey, they're just like roaches, honey. It's hard to get rid of them. Please pay attention. Now, in October, an Atlanta neighborhood found itself at the center of a scandal involving squatters who transformed a home into an illegal strip club, complete with weekend parties and even live horses on the party. And they were doing it. Do you hear me? They were having the fun of their lives. Now, the drama unfolded in the South Fulton area, where 4 individuals, DeAnthony Maddox, Jeremy Wheat, Kelvin Hall, and Tarasha Ford, they took up residence without permission. Little did the neighbors know that the 4,000 square foot 5-bedroom home with 3 bathrooms would become a den of illicit activity. The squatters ran the clandestine strip club, held noisy parties, and even organized car races in the street, ruining the neighborhood for others. This is also ghetto, honey. These people are straight from the hood. Now, they say they would get live horses. One day they had live horses, says a neighbor. Eventually, a SWAT team had to clear out the house and recovered 2 stolen cars, a stolen weapon, and stolen credit cards from the property. One neighbor told the Post they were afraid to even go on vacation because if squatters find out their home was vacant, they just might move right on in. Now, they say, is this even America anymore? We are homeowners, and we can't even do anything about these trespassers. In another incident, U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Dehelia Deur discovered a convicted criminal swatted in her home. Deur returned to her property to find a squatter living in her sprawling $500,000 residence while she was away on active duty. She previously told WSB-TV she came home to find a man by the name of Vincent Simon living in her home. Simon, who had been convicted on gun, drug, and theft charges, refused to leave the house. Honey, he would have left real quick when I got there, baby. Oh, I promise you. I would have had 2 accompanies with me, okay? I would have had 2 people accompany me. That would have been Mr. Smith and Mr. Wesson. Okay, come on. Make our day. This is all crazy. Now, when Deur reported the unwanted man in her home to cops, they initially told her their hands were tied because it was a civil matter. Serving him eviction papers also didn't help. After an obscure, honey, I would have served him something, okay? I sure would have. I promise you that. Now, after an obscure law was used to finally get the police involved, cops found guns and drugs in the home. To find out that this person moved into my home right after I got done renovating it, it was very aggravating. And I was angry. Honey, I would have been beyond aggravated. Okay? I would have been beyond aggravated. I would have told him, I don't know who you think you are, but you at the wrong place on the wrong day. Now, you got 30 seconds. I'm sorry. Make that 20 to get up out of here. Okay? Please. And this is all crazy. This is all crazy. Let me show you all some of the pictures of the property. Then they had the nerve to open a whole strip club. Just thugs. See, these type of folks right here, they need to be under the jail. Look at them. Tarasha Ford on the right and DeAnthony Maddox on the left were arrested for squatting. Now they're in the Fulton County Jail. Look at these 2 right here. Jeremy Wheat on the left and Kelvin Hall on the right. These ones open up the strip club. Look at these nice homes. This is just all so crazy. And this is the person who was in the military. No, this is the man who was in the woman's house while she was in the military. Deur says the man inside her home is Vincent Simon, a Georgia resident who has been convicted of gun, drug, and theft charges. Honey, you would have got up out of there so quick, I promise you. And that's her beautiful home right there. I'm going to tell you like this. Either come get him, right now out of my house, or the ambulance will. Or the ambulance will, I promise you. Miss Eva said, but they can't open up a grocery store though. Okay, it's all crazy. Laverne said, looking broken, can't be trusted. Exactly. I mean, the nerve that is sitting up in your house, uninvited, not paying a dime on anything, eating your food, probably slept in your bed and been through all of your personal things, and then I come home and you tell me you're not going to leave? Oh, you're going to get the hell up out of here. That's what you're going to do. I promise you, you're going to leave. You're going to leave today. All right, that's what you're going to do. You better leave with a quickness if you know, like I know. All right? Because I know what the cops love to say. I feared for my life. Yeah, that works. Sit down somewhere. Sit down somewhere, honey. You better have several seats. That's what you better do. Chilling at somebody's house. Yes, it is what it is, okay? They have lost their minds. I'm not even joking. They have clearly lost their minds. So anyway, let's talk about Matthew Knowles. Beyonce's father said the reason she didn't win or has never won Album of the Year is clearly because he says her record label is not supporting her, and he called them out.
People don't know the process. Your record label can only appoint one person in a category. So that means her record label, I'm gonna call you out, Columbia Records. Her record label has never really put her in that category.
That's the problem, Matthew, is that people feel like they nominate her for Album of the Year, but then they give it to someone who, in the eyes of a lot of fans, had an inferior album. And that's the question, is like, why are they singling her out in that category?
Well, again, when you have, going back to Adele and Beyonce on the same record label, the record label can only support one of those artists.
Why do you think that the label, which has made a fortune off Beyonce, why would they choose Adele over your daughter?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. I mean, there's a financial reason. Maybe Adele sold more records worldwide. I don't know these answers, but these are some of the thought processes that they go through. Maybe you say, you know, Beyonce has her success. Here's an opportunity to push Adele, so let's push her.
So this isn't so much the Grammys as it is the label, according to you.
It's a combination of all, but it starts with the label.
At the end of the day, he knows darn well why they would choose Adele rather than Beyonce. Her skin tone. Please pay attention. He's sitting there trying to act like he doesn't know why. He knows why. And they know why too. And they asked him that just so he would say what they wanted to hear. Okay? I would have told him. You already know what time it is. That's what I would have told him. Y'all know exactly why. Let's not play coy. Okay? Please. Oh, so crazy. So how many of you know the rapper Logic? Reggie said Adele broke her Grammy in half on purpose. Michael M said Adele is his preference. I mean, I like Adele too. I don't like her better than Beyonce. Not even gonna tell that story, honey. I don't like her better than Beyonce, honey. Nope. All right. You all know. Okay, so Logic did an interview recently, and you know, I used to think he was white. He's clearly passing. I didn't know he was one of us. But anyway, at the end of the day, he was confronting his father, who was clearly on a substance abuse, was dealing with substance abuse as he was growing up, and you know, would never come and see him, would just tell him all these lies and have him just sitting there waiting. It was all so sad. I feel bad for Logic because if I'm not mistaken, he also said that his mother, Karen, and I remember reading this years ago, used to call him the N-word. That's the only way I found out that he was black, because I clearly thought he was white. But he said his own mother used to call him the N-word, if I'm not mistaken. I read that years ago.
I waited every weekend and you never showed up. And you always said that you would. What is it like as a man who used a substance that would allow you to make that little boy wait forever?
The things in which, like, I have done in my past have come back to haunt me. Okay? You know, because, like you say, peace, love, and positivity, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, how can you have peace, love, and positivity if you don't have experience, strength, and hope? Because they both come together.
His father can miss me with it. You chose drugs over your son. Please pay attention. His father's black. I know he looks white too, but his father's just real light skinned, which is why logic is clearly passing. But at the end of the day, that was very sad. I hate to see stuff like that. You know, you neglected your child when they needed you most, and that's in their years when they're growing up and things like that. So at their prepubescent years. But at the end of the day, he's sitting there trying to make a rationalization for it. No. Sit down somewhere, okay? Because at the end of the day, we all know how to show empathy, sympathy, compassion, love. We know how to do it when we want to, okay? He showed love for those illegal substances that he was addicted to. That's it. Now, I know some people want to say that, oh, being addicted to drugs is a disease. No, it's not. It's not a disease as far as I'm concerned. It's a choice. And here's how you know. See, they try to run that game now. They try to run that game now when they had that whole opioid crisis. All of a sudden, it's a health disaster. Oh, it's a disease. It's not a disease. You know why it's not a disease? Well, I'm so glad you asked. You see, when someone gets a disease like lupus, okay, or cancer, you don't get to choose it. You don't get to go to a place and say, you know what? Which one of these diseases do I want? Do I want cancer, or do I want lupus, or which one? You don't get to do that, okay? But when you're taking illegal substances, pumping that into your veins, or however you're putting up your nose, however you're doing it, when you're doing those things, you have a choice. You see those things and you choose those things. So please don't try to tell us that it's a disease. It's not. It is not. It is a choice. That's what it is. You chose drugs. Like Nancy Reagan used to always say when it was a problem in our community with crack. What did she say? What did they tell us? Just say no. That's all you got to do is just say no. Don't sit here and try to tell me it's a disease. How to miss me with it. Miss me with it. All right? Please have several seats. It's all nefarious. Reggie said when it was the black community, they didn't care. Just say no. Exactly. That's what they told us, honey. Just say no, please. Anyway, but I digress. Now, let me see what else I have for you guys. Oh, here's the thing. Let's talk about it, because why have they tried? Remember how they tried to give the braids to Kim Kardashian? They called it Kim Kardashian box braids, like she invented them. How is it that people who culturally appropriate our cultures and traditions, they then try to give them, their people that is try to give them the credit for it? Remember that? Oh, Kim Kardashian box braids. Sit down somewhere. Cornrows came from us. Now, mind you, they're trying to give Travis Kelce, or Kels, whatever his name is, Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Yeah. They're trying to say that he invented the fade. I mean, the nerve of them. Listen to this. This is all so crazy. Travis Kelce wants no parts in white people thinking he started the fade. Well, we know you didn't start it, honey, so I'm glad you're keeping it real. Okay, it's the least you can do. You want to borrow from our culture and then they're going to try to give you credit for it? Please. Stuff we've been doing for centuries, decades. Hold on, let me get this off the screen. There it is right there. It appears that Kels doesn't want to be the Christopher Columbus of black haircuts. Not the Christopher Columbus. They need to sit down somewhere. So anyway, so he was interviewed and they were saying, you know, that he got this haircut and that he came up with it, all this. He previously addressed the idea that somehow Christopher Columbus, somehow he was Christopher Columbus. That's what he calls it. An already known haircut. During a recent episode of Shannon Sharpe and Chad Johnson's Nightcap, the former athletes talked about white America naming the haircut after the player. Ocho, I've been getting this fade since '86. This is what Shannon Sharpe said. wait, he don't have a fade, he got a buzz cut. That is exactly what it is. Okay, please pay attention. Like when you go to the Army, bro, Shannon then aimed his criticism at NYT. I guess that's the New York Times. Yeah, because they're the ones that first posted. He called out the publication for doing this during Black History Month. Okay, so when so New York Times, so that's how you start Black History Month, giving Trav, and that's my nephew, you're going to give him credit for the fade? We've been seeing the fade for years. Travis caught wind of the video and stated that he wasn't the creator. Okay, at the end of this is all crazy. I need to sit down somewhere. Let me just show you all this video so you all can see. The man's haircut looks nice, but back in the day, we always called that a buzz cut. And let me just give you all some information. If you're ever out and you get pulled over by a cop who has a buzz haircut, just be ready and prepared for the racism, okay? Because many racist cops that I've seen have that same haircut. They have that same haircut. I want y'all to pay attention. It's true. Hold on. Let me start the share on the Instagram. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Let me go to the Instagram. This is all so nefarious. But it's not the first time they've done it. It clearly won't be the last. Please pay attention.
Apparently taking barbershops by storm. The New York Times began Black History Month by referring to the fade as the Travis Kelce.
What? They changed it up, huh?
New York Times. So that's how you start Black History. Giving Trav, and that's my nephew, you gonna give him credit for the fade.
We've been seeing the fade for years, huh?
Ocho, I've been getting the fade since '86.
Who wrote that?
Bro, I tried to figure out what black barbershop you go in and say, let me get a Travis Kelce. They're gonna look at you like, what? A who?
But you know what? If you all think that's crazy, where do you see this? Hold on. Let me pull up the receipt. I've shown you all this before a couple of years ago, but I just want to make sure you all remember. I want you all to pay attention. Now, this one I really couldn't believe. When I said this is absolutely nefarious. Please pay attention. Now, look at this. This man is a whole Klansman, but has the nerve to have locks like mine. Please pay attention. This is what they do. Now, you want to sit up here and try to give him credit for locks? A whole Klansman? Is that what they're going to do next? Y'all see that? This fool is a member of the KKK, but sporting locks. I'm sorry, isn't that an oxymoron? Isn't that an oxymoron? How do you not even like black folk, but you'll bite our culture? Are you walking around with the locks in your head? The photo was taken by Devontae Cunningham, a recent graduate from the University of Virginia, and it went viral soon after it was posted. Me and my friend were in total disbelief. We really couldn't believe we had just seen a Klansman with dreads. We're looking at the KKK here, and dreadlocks are basically a symbol of African culture. It was really weird to see. Okay, let me tell you something. Many people online reflected Cunningham's astonishment, questioning why a member of the KKK, a white supremacist group, would wear a hairstyle so traditionally associated with African American culture. The man who hasn't been identified was wearing several Klan symbols on his shirt also. Oh, crazy. Now, so let me say this. I mean, if that doesn't take the cake, what does? What does? If that doesn't take the cake, please tell me what does. You see, here's the thing. My son told me years ago, my youngest son told me, my son was about in middle school, and he told me, he said, Mom, we shouldn't really call people racist. We should just call them haters. Because the only reason they're racist against us is because they're jealous. Well, that's the truth. How else could you explain it? You're sitting up here, you don't like black people, but you have one of the most blackest hairstyles. The only thing that would trump that would be to see him with an afro. Well, we know he couldn't do that, so he chose the locks instead. This is all crazy. This is all crazy. I'm just telling you all. Make it all make sense. Make it all make sense. Okay? Anyway, Little X said that's it and that's all, okay? Oh, so nefarious. Locks came from the Mayans culture. The Mayans are also called black, are so-called black. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I don't know if they came from the Mayans. The Mayans did wear locks, at least some of the pictures I've seen. But here's the thing. There was the reason they're even called dreadlocks is because there was a group of fierce warriors, okay, who lived up in the mountains, and they were dreaded by everyone, and that's how they wore their hair. So they need to sit down somewhere. I mean, just doing the most. I find it all so interesting. Juju said they admired this melanin. Well, of course. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't, beloved? Okay. I mean, I can't blame them. I admire it too. But you know, it is what it is, honey. It is what it is. And so everybody wants our rhythm, but none of our blues. Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Everyone, please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Moderators, please do me a favor and drop the link in the chat for the spiritual channel. The video on the spiritual channel premieres at 3:15. Okay, it's going to be talking about spiritual gifts. I already posted it, so make sure you tune in to get your spiritual vitamins. I'm out of here for the day. All right, now I have to go and edit this this video so I can post it for you guys tomorrow. All right, with that all being said, everyone enjoy the rest of this day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now.
That's
See
right.
a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy.
Real slick.
I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got